It started 3 sessions after the message. Stick had gone back to the abandoned server once, alone. The green dot was still there. He hadn't sent another message.
He just sat at the spawn platform and watched that dot, and then logged off. He hadn't told the others.
The squad was in their own server when it started. Their base, their biomes, the familiar, warm terrain they'd spent months building. Normal session, Spoony had a resource plan.
Spike had concerns about the resource plan. Mugsy was at the corner. Stick was exploring the eastern edge of the map, the part past the birch forest, where the terrain got flat and open.
Good visibility, nothing unusual. Except there was someone else out there he saw at first as move. Meant, a figure far enough away that it was just pixels shifting. He stopped. The figure stopped.
He moved left. The figure moved left. Not following exactly, more like staying at the same distance. Always the same distance. He sent a message to the squad chat. Someone else is on the server.
Spoony replied instantly, "I'll handle this." The clipboard appeared in the chat. Somehow, Spike replied, "Don't approach it." Mugsy didn't reply.
But Stick checked to the server log and Mugsy had read the message immediately. They all moved toward the eastern edge.
The figure was still there, same distance from Stick, which meant it had moved as the squad moved. It was maintaining the gap. Deliberately,
Spoony tried to approach it directly, walking fast, clipboard raised, introduction prepared. The figure moved back at exactly the same speed. The gap stayed identical. Spike stopped walking.
it knows how fast we move. Mugsy stopped too. He was looking at the figure. Not at the squad, at the figure. His arms were uncrossed, which was unusual. He was just looking.
Stick asked, "Do you know what that is?" Mugsy said no, which was the second time in recent memory that Mugsy had said that. It didn't get easier to hear. They watched it for a long time.
The figure never came closer, never left. The eyes, and there were eyes, to points of something T. Hat caught the light differently from the rest of it, stayed fixed in their direction, not hostile.
Not retreating, just present, at the edge of what they could clearly see. Spike logged off.
He'd said something was wrong at the start of the session, and he'd been right, and there was nothing useful he could do with that.
Spoony tried one more approach faster this time, zigzagging, the element of surprise. The figure adjusted instantly, maintaining the distance, the eyes never shifting. Spoony stopped.
Looked at his clipboard, put it under his arm. Mugsy walked toward the figure. Alone, slowly, the figure didn't retreat. For the first time, it held its ground. Mugsy stopped 20 blocks away.
The two of them were still for a long moment, Mugsy with arms crossed. The figure with those yellow eyes, 20 blocks of empty terrain between them. Then, Mugsy walked back to the squad.
He didn't say what had happened. He logged off without explanation. Stick was the last one. Again, he looked at the figure. The figure looked back. He didn't approach. He didn't message.
He just looked at for a while. The figure turned, not fleeing, just turning, and walked into the tree line at the edge of the eastern biome. Slowly, without urgency.
Like someone who had been somewhere long enough and had decided it was time to go. Stick watched it disappear. The yellow eyes were the last thing visible. Lumi was at the base when he got back. She sat beside him on the hill. A figure, Stick said, eastern edge. Always the same. Distance Mugsy walked toward it, and it didn't run. Then it just left. Like it was done. Can I tell you something? Stick looked at her. There's a specific kind of fear that comes from being observed without being approached.
The brain reads proximity as intent. If something wanted to harm you, it would come closer.
But something that stays at a fixed distance, that maintains the gap deliberately, the brain, doesn't have a clean category for that. It's not predator behavior. It's not neutral behavior.
It activates threat circuits without giving you a threat to respond to. You can't run from something that isn't chasing you. You can't confront something that isn't attacking.
You just have to exist with the awareness that something is there. Stick thought about the eyes.
About how they hadn't moved from him specifically. They'd tracked the whole squad, but they'd found him first. It found me first, he said. Lumi's glow was steady. Careful, I know, she said.
Stick looked at her. That specific phrase, Lumi almost smiled. Some things know you before you know them. That's not always dangerous. Sometimes it's just true.
Stick thought about the abandoned server. I know. About a green dot that had been online. For years in a server nobody visited. Are they connected? He asked. I don't know, Lumi said.
Which was, from Lumi, the most honest and most unsettling answer he'd received since Mugsy had said the same thing. That night, Stick checked the server log. The figure had no username listed. Who was watching?